Just let us know when we are live. Okay. Hi everyone, this is Dhruv. I'm a member of Alumni team Coding Club. I graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 2017, and currently I'm working as a software developer in Tar Research Capital, and I'll be hosting the event. Let's wait for a few more minutes until more people join, and then we'll start with the event. Okay, I think we can start. There are around 260 people there. Yeah, sure. I'll adjust the camera angle. Cool. So I think people are asking us to begin. So let us start. So this event basically will have discussions regarding Google Summer of Code. As you guys might be knowing that Google Summer of Code will be starting soon, and you guys might be interested in applying into that. So we have Anamika over here. She'll give you a brief about Google Summer of Code and how you can apply that, how you can crack Google Summer of Code. Then we will dive into a session on cracking the coding interview. That so because right now many people of you must be third or fourth year students, and they might be setting for placement. So Anamika is here with us. She'll share her journey, and she cracked GSoC in 2018. So yeah, Anamika, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. Thank you, Dhruv. And I'm Anamika. I've done my GSoC last year, this year, 2018, and I've also been Google Coding Mentor before that. So I'm an open source enthusiast. I started open source contribution around 1.5 years back. So I was really enthusiastic about Google Summer of Code, as it sounds so big and so used for the college students. And so I started for the researched a lot about the Google Summer of Code, how to start, and hopefully this session will help you, and you will be in the next names of the Google Summer of Code selected students. Uh, Talking about the Google Summer of Code, Google Summer of Code is a open source program that lasts around for the coding period is only for the 12 weeks. That it's approximately 3 months, and in the beginning we have 3 weeks community bonding period where people come and after get selected, students and the mentors bond together, discuss about the what they will be doing the next 3 months, how will be they approach to the project, how will they handle the different case scenarios and the thing. I think this is
Okay,
different.
so Anamika, she just told about what GSoC is. So now, like, can you please tell how this works in the GSoC? Like, how you apply? What is the timeline in brief, and uh, which, and at what stages? What are the stages in GSoC basically? Since it's a long process.
Yeah, it's definitely a long process. So, for anyone who is watching right now, I will recommend that you can start like from the tomorrow or maybe start from today only. Uh, in short, if I will discuss it in the details next, but in short, the timeline is first you start contributing to the projects. Before contributing to the project, you have to select your organization. You have to select the project from the GSoC archives. Then once you are done with the selecting the projects, you will start contributing to them. You will join the organization's communication channels. It might be Slack, IRC, mailing list, etc. And once you are communicating in their channels, you will know what issues you have to solve. There might be a situation that the project is not active or the mentors are not active in the very beginning. Have some patience, it takes time. Also, during the selecting the projects, there might be a possibility that you might not like the beginning 6 or 5 projects, but you have to search a lot. Like, because there are lots of projects on the GSoC archives. There are many organizations who get selected every year. There's organizations who come as a new to the GSoC, so you have to search for them. As far as I know, from the GSoC 2019 is already announced, and in the February, I think mid-February, organizations will be selected. Organization will be announced, and then you will start working on the application period. So yes, that's it.
Okay, and we'll try to answer. Question that I can pick is like which year students should mainly apply. So there are first year students also coaching right now. There are second year students. So can you tell me which year students apply for the GSoC?
Definitely, like I any college students or anyone who is enrolled for a regular course or in any university, they can apply for it. The process is similar for every student. Either you are a first year or the fourth year student. The rule is at the time of application, at the in April, you have to be a student. For the first year students, I will recommend that select some easy projects so that you can create a good application and the probability of getting selected will increase. For third year or fourth year students, try to research a lot, because after GSoC is completed, it's not only about getting selected for the GSoC and completing it or getting the stipend or getting the name of the GSoC. Once you have completed the GSoC, that you will use that experience in your resume. So it will help a lot if you are selecting good projects for the final or year or the third year students. So select organization and projects according to your knowledge base current, and don't be overwhelmed by the projects. The like as for personally, I've also felt that once you start with the open source projects, because those projects have been maintained from last maybe 5 years or 6 years, so there might be lots of things that you are not aware about in the very beginning, but you can learn with the time. Take your time. If you're liking the project, research a lot, understand the project, and hopefully you will like find your way to the application process.
Okay. So basically, we are going good on the session. So just to inform the all the learners over here, they can become learner in Coding Club by applying to the link which we have in the description. So don't forget to do that. There's a link in you can become a learner easily. Like it's a simple form which you can fill. So coming again back to the GSoC questionnaire. Anamika, how to search for interesting projects for contribution? Like how can contributors know that they are fit for this, and how can they search for projects?
I think for this question, sharing the screen will be really like helpful. So I will share the screen. Can you see the screen through?
Yes, the screen is visible.
Okay. So you can Google easily and you'll find this website, Google Summer of Code Archives website. Here you can, as you can see, you can select for the projects, organization, or the usernames. So let's say I'm an Android developer because I know basics of the Android. At the in the third year, I knew Android basics a lot. I was really comfortable with the Android, so I started searching with for the Android, and I can see all the last 3 years, 2018, 17, and 16 past projects. They might be from the Force Asia, Me Force, or this project is from the Sisters Open Source. So there are lots of organizations. Let's select any of the projects. think I will just take this example, open even Android project. As I selected, as you can see, this is project is from the Forces here. That is a really big organization. Here I can see that here you will see an example. The get the code button actually leads you to the gist or a blog which shows what Dreadful 2 did in his last uh, GSoC experience. The last 3 months, what he did in 2000, GSoC 2018. Ultimately, if you are selected for the GSoC and you are completing the first three evaluation, so you will have to do something similar. You will write down all the work that you did in last 3 months. As you can see, he had done some good work here. What I will do is I will show some examples from my own project that was from the Sisters open source. My project was infrastructure automation Android. If you click on the view projects, I'm currently searching with the help only by the organization. You can see the view projects here. And these are all the GSoC students who got selected last year, and they were my GSoC. Like along with me, they were also doing GSoC for with the Sisters open source. This was my project. Here, my main project was about shifting the project to MVP. You can see all the details here, the the code. Now, if when you are searching for the get the code, you can see a brief of all my work in the last 3 months for the GSoC project. It helps you to understand what is the current status of the project or what the students did. It will also give you a brief idea that how much work you will be able to do in the 3 months. So a small review about the application. By here, you will somehow find the links of all the GitHub repos. As you will find the Power Up Android project. This is one of the GitHub link, and that is another GitHub projects link. So this way, you actually search throughout the projects. Either you can select by the project wise or by technology by clicking here, or by organization. If you select for the MIFOs, we'll select, so you can see all the 2018's MIFOS projects. So I will suggest to everyone, either you are first year or the final year student, if you are comfortable with one like tech, it might be Android, Web, Node.js, artificial intelligence, or anything. So try to search for those tech specifics, or you can select via organization also. If you like some organization, or if you are already aware about an organization, or you know someone who is mentoring for an organization, so go for those organizations because somehow they might lead you in throughout the application process.
Okay, that's
Search for the
interesting to
students.
know. Uh, uh, so I think this is a lot of information, and I think people are getting it. So they can select, they can talk to organizations like reason over years. For example, organizations of 2018 may host GSoC for 2019 as well. So it's better to start contributing from today itself and to the organization, and you can just start talking. You can just make some commits, read their code, things like that. So how many organizations to select? Like,
Oh, that is really important thing. I know for few people who select for like right now I don't remember the number of the criteria that GSoC like Google has given us, but um, it might be around like I will suggest select two projects, like two organizations or two projects, because if you're selecting three projects, so you won't be able to give a lot of time for every project, and somehow your contribution gets split up. So the suggestion would be select two projects contribute to them. And this way, if you're selecting the projects and from two different organizations, even if one of the organization is not selected, when the organization are announced in February, mid-February approximately, so you won't be having a problem that what do now, because even it will really help.
Okay. Um, so, uh, so how to contact mentors? Like, can you tell how do you contact the mentors?
Yes, for contacting the mentors, once you have joined their communication channel. For let's example, I will take the as we were discussing about the MIFOS organization. So they use Getter as their communication channel. During the February, I think the contacting the mentor part comes once you have already like organizations are already announced. So after February, once you are starting with your application period, uh, the mentor starts getting active in their communication channels, because like right now I will be applying for becoming a mentor, and I will start getting active around mid-February. So
Okay.
mm, you can contact them in their directly public channels. Probably mentors will be those people who will be reviewing your pull requests on GitHub, or they might be guiding some other people in the communication channels if you're getting stuck on some error or any problem. Or
Okay.
I think admins are always active. So
Okay.
admins, yeah.
So, how many pull requests are necessary? Like, how much contribution basically is necessary to, get started with contributing more into the project?
There are two things. One is try to contribute as much as possible, but keep in mind that admins and the mentors are always looking throughout your behavior, how you are responding to any issue, how you are communicating with fellow GSoC enthusiast, or how you are behaving with the mentors. So if you are becoming a lot of competitive, like you are trying, like treating it as a competition, so that might be sound negative to them, because you are focusing on more about sending peers and not about the contribution. Contribution is not only about the pull requests. You can
Hmm.
contribute in different ways also, but try to contribute as much as possible, and always follow the contribution guidelines provided by the organization. Once you will start searching for the organization on their GitHub pages, you will find some contribution guidelines for you. So follow their contribution guidelines always.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to tell you guys, if you want to become a learner in coding, there's a link in the description, just one step link, and you will be able to be in contact with our mentors, and you can ask technical questions and any questions you have. So yeah, so let's continue with the discussion. So can you tell like what are something which you should don't do while preparation? Like you told a lot of things which you should do, but can you tell which people should take care in mind that you should don't do?
Yeah, so for sure. One thing I've like just mentioned, have some patience during the contribution period. Don't think that mentors are always sitting there to review your PRs. There might be possibility that they're not replying back to you for 24 hours or 48 hours. Um, Once it's more than 48 hours, try to just ping them on. Don't go into the direct messages ever. Only try to have a send a message on the public channel that I sent a PR 2 days ago, and can you please review it, instead of going into the direct message and say please review my PR, I want to send more PR, something like that. If you have some queries, tag the mentors in the public channels and ask them. Some there are organizations who will create some specific GSoC queries channels also. Or like if you're joining the sisters open source Slack right now, you will find GSoC applications a different Slack channel. So you can find send your queries. Look out to their communication channels. On the always go to the public channels. Also, don't think that I will start tomorrow, because there there are lots of competition in the GSoC. As far as I have seen, there are some organizations
Yeah.
like here. Some people will be really competitive. So as I was
Mm-hmm.
saying, don't feel a lot of competitive, have some lot of competitive behavior, uh, but go through the organization behavior and how everyone else is behaving. Always follow the contribution guidelines. If the
Okay.
organization guidelines say that asks mentors permission before sending a PR, do that. Don't send a PR without getting the permission.
Okay. That's nice to know. And I think we'll take one more questions, and then we'll switch over to the next session. So how to write application? Like, can you give a few highlights on how to write and what are the must points to consider?
Yeah, for application, I will share the screen and then it will really help. I will just show the my application example from the last year. Can you see my screen?
Uh, Let me see. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. So usually many organizations will provide their template once organizations are selected and so are their projects. So for the sisters open source, they did provide us some for some basic template. They had some question for based on the community involvement, background, timeline, and project details. So I think you can always handle the community involvement question, like how do you communicate, how what do you think as a team player. These are some basic questions that you can always solve. The main thing about writing a good application is focusing on the timeline, because timeline is the most important key to your application. If you are making it good, you are getting the like your contribution is 50% before the application period begins, and 50% actually focuses on your good timeline. So try, like I will suggest, give at least 14 days to complete your application. Don't wait for the last days to start making the application. What I did for a good timeline is I made the work weekly. So as you can see, last year it started, the community bonding period started with 24th April, and you can see this is monthly wise. And I noticed that I also mentioned the complexity. So it is medium work, it is a hard, it will take a lot of time for me. Another thing to always mention in the like timeline is have some extra time. So if you are having some backup like problems, so have some buffer period so that um, if you are getting backlogs, you can solve them here. uh,
Okay.
During the timeline also, if we are having some exam, uh, mention the exam breaks. Don't make it unnecessary, like you will work throughout the exams. Nobody expects you to, because you are a college student and everybody else is also a college student. Mentors will understand it. Try to ask for a 7 days leave, or like try to make up to the points. If you think that your college exams will end up to 14 days, then ask mentors if you can work in the last week of community bonding period. Although it is not suggested to code in the community bonding period, but you can handle it, I'm sure. Also, the main point is if you're starting early with the creating your application, so you can also get your it is reviewed by the mentors. I completed 7 days ago, the before the submission was allowed on the deadline. So I asked my two or three of my mentors to review them. As you can see, she suggested me to add some buffer time after every coding period so that I can
Mhm.
manage it. So
Yeah, yeah.
get it reviewed by your mentors. It really helps a lot, because those
Yes,
are the people who
that.
will select you, and if they are reviewing you beforehand, so it is like a bonus point for you.
Mhm. I think that's a lot of information, and that's very important to note. These all the things were very important, and guys, this session is being recorded, so you can take a look at it afterwards also. Uh, then I think this is it. Most of the information is being covered, and we'll take up few questions. We will try to answer few questions which you guys have posted over here. So now I would like to call Rishabh. Uh, so Rishabh will be joining in a moment. He is president at Coding Club, and he will be summarizing how Coding Club is trying and is benefiting every single coder over here. Yeah, so Rishabh, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, this side is Rishabh here. I'm a part of Coding Club Alumni team, and I welcome everyone to become a learner at Coding Club. And I believe every learner at Coding Club will be a foundation of great coders in the future itself. And we have seen many times that like people are getting confused over like many more things like finding out difficulties how to prepare for GSoC, and people are not even aware of what GSoC is exactly like, and what is ACM ICPC. So even if we take the stats of like last year, only 5,000 people across the whole India applied for GSoC, although there are 4,500 colleges across India. So even if one single coder participate, that make it like 4,500. Although there is no like criteria to apply for it, so we can expect like even 20,000, 40,000, or 1 lakh coders to be applying for that. So our whole aim and vision is to help every learner or coder in India to be aware of what is very benefited, like what is really useful for them, like which the platform which will give them like very uh, like working on the big platforms and the scale, so that they can learn, inspire, and grow together. So that's all the aim of the Coding Club. So there will be some mentors which will be like guiding you. So we have some daily content which we serve to each of them. Like recently, yesterday there was coding contest, and we are really happy that a lot more coders like joined in, and they performed really well. Yeah, that's all. So now let's proceed to the next event. So we will be asking Dhruv, as he is from IIT Kharagpur. He passed out like 2 years back, and he will be telling us like how to crack like good tech companies interview rounds, and how do you prepare for that, how do we prepare for DSL Go, and were you like able to cope up with the development part as well and the competitive programming as well. So we will be asking some few good questions that the audience will be having, as we can see the in the live chat that people are asking how should I prepare for good tech companies. So Dhruv, can we start it right now? Should we start?
Yeah, sure. Sure, we can start.
So first question from my side will be like, what are the key topics and areas that I should or a coder should focus while preparing for companies like Tower Research or maybe Amazon, Google, Facebook, Quora? Like there are many more
Yeah.
good tech companies over there.
Yeah, sure. This is a very good question and a question which many people would like to know. So one of the very important area and one of the very, you can say, a prerequisite of getting into a company like Tower Research is to have thorough knowledge of data structures and algorithms. So basically, it involves knowing the algorithm. So for example, say graph algorithms, sorting algorithms, string algorithms, and there are many such algorithms. So you should first know those algorithms, like know how things are working, and then coding that up in the language of your choice. So this is something very important. So you guys should give a lot of time in knowing the algorithms and data structures, and then coding that up in the language. So without code, so I again focus saying that you should code things up. Then the second thing which many people like don't take care of is theory topics of computer science, and those theory topics involve topics like computer operating systems, computer networks, compilers also. So these topics are usually people are not aware for these, and we at Coding Club are preparing those modules, and we have mentors which can guide you over there. And these are something which company really expect you to do well. Like if you are not good in operating system, if they are asking you a question and you are not able to answer those, it is a red sign. So this is even if you are good in coding. So this is something uh, which is a area of focus. Second and the third important aspect, which companies like Amazon, Google, and even Tata Research ask, is system design. So this basically is to test how comfortable you with working with real systems. Say when you are in college, you don't work on a project which is impacting many users or which have a lot of data. But when you go to a corporate, when you go to companies like Amazon, Tata Research, or Google, you will be working with a huge amount of data and some product which is impacting millions of users. So in that, the problems are different. So basically, they want to give you a question and they want to check how you can proceed with not, in cracking the system design problem. So I think these are the three main areas.
So Yadro, I believe like these 3 points that you just gave, like will be very grateful for everyone to know. And but I see like there are like very good product-based tech companies like Amazon, Google, and like these companies, and including Tower Research as well. Like there are more even like these days coming into picture in India recently, like maybe an Uber, maybe like many more startups are also coming in. So what do they like look for, like if you are a startup or product tech company, so what do they exactly look for a candidate who is in like fourth year currently, like so what should they look on and how should they do proceed for that, like?
Yeah, so that's again a good question, and I cannot answer it specifically because every company has a different thing which they are looking for. But with my experience and I to cover most of the points. And the first thing that they look for is how you approach to the problem and what's your thought process. So, for example, they give you a coding problem, and so they wanted to see how you are thinking about the solution to the problem, how you reach to the solution. It's not just that you say, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, but you should explain that why you are doing this, why you are taking this step, and then you should be able to code that up. So so a clean approach is something which they are looking for when they are asking you questions. So not only in the coding problem, but also in the problems which involve operating systems and computer architecture, they want to look how you are thinking, like how is your thinking logical? Isn't it like you just know the concepts and you're just mugging that up? That is not what we want. So this is one thing. Second thing is how passionate you are. For example, suppose any of you crack GSoC and the interviewer is interested in your project. So how passionately you have done that project. So they'll dig you upon the minute details and they'll ask you questions, follow up questions on that. So you should be able to answer those, and you should show your passion about the work you have already done and how curious you are about other works. Uh, then a second thing is which I would recommend for the freshers specifically, is that they should focus more on depth instead of breadth. So what it means is that for you are a fresher, you can't know everything. Like you may not know, you may not be very knowledgeable in operating system, very much thorough in coding also. Like they are not looking for candidates like so for example, if you are not so good in, say, coding, but you are very good in operating system, or if you are not so good in operating system, but you are very very good in coding, they'll consider you. So you should focus on depth. But again, this actually means that you should avoid saying things which you don't have sufficient knowledge of. For example, if you are saying, say, okay, I'll use segment trees over here, and they ask you that, okay, what is segment tree, and you are not able to answer. You just said because you heard this question, or you know that I have heard something similar. So try to avoid that. So they are mostly interested in whatever things you have done, you should have done it perfectly. And they are also fairly interested in domain of your expertise. For example, someone of you is very good in web, for example, web tech. So they'll be very much interested in your project. I mean, your project aligned with their work, they'll hire you. So this is something which they look for in a candidate.
Yeah, that was really a great answer. But because it is like the points you gave are like pretty like very descriptive, like if you prepare for that. But it will be really helpful if you can summarize the all step into like some 4 or 5 steps, like what should they like proceed with, like what are the key steps they should follow in the next 3 years or 2 years or 1 years, so that they will be ending up in high paying career. Like how should they go for DS? So either should they start working on projects, they should start on working on DS. So like what are the steps they should follow, so they end up in a great success?
Yeah, sure. That is again a very good question, and I'll try to answer it very precise. So the first step, for example, many of the students over here are first year students, and they are asking questions like, how should I proceed to coding and things like that. So first thing is you should learn programming language, and for competitive, I would recommend C, C++, because a lot of good documentation is over here, and most of the coders code in C++, and they should learn C++. So that will help them to convert logic into code. So ultimately, you have to code things up. So whenever a problem is given, you think about it, you come up with a logic and you code. So you should know that this is how you have to code. So
Yeah, so
learning,
first step should be basically like converting your whatever is coming to your mind based on the problem, it should be converted into code.
yes,
So this is the first
uh,
step. Yeah, that was pretty clear. Like, so mostly the first semester or second semester start with that, like converting your logic into like code.
yes,
So what should be the
yes.
next step? Like,
Yeah. So now, since you know that, okay, I can convert the logic into code, you are fairly confident about, say, C++. Then what comes next is you want to solve more and more problems, so that you want to see that whether you can think about something or not. So for that, I would recommend using online judges. For example, Code Forces, Podge, even Leak Code, or there are many of them actually. And you should pick one. For example, say Podge. You pick that and you try to solve starting from easy problems to medium to hard problems. So that will help you improve your coding skills as well as your logical thinking and algorithm skills. So for example, you can pick a topic. Say you want to do problems on binary search tree. So you pick up topic and you start solving those problems, and you code that up also. So this is the second step, uh, which will give you fair confidence on solving data structures and algorithms. Rishabh is not over here.
Yeah, so
Is
I will continue with it. Um,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
so what should be the after once we have started with any online service? So what
Yeah.
next?
Yeah, sure. So basically, now you have you know that, okay, I can think about the problems, but now there are many topics, many algorithms over there. So you should try to bundle that up in. You should classify that. Okay, I'll try to first solve problems on arrays. So then I'll try to solve problems on strings. Then try to solve problems on dynamic programming. So you should focus on learning the algorithms, because that is also important, because every question does not is not ad hoc. You There is certain patterns which that problem try you to pick that up. So you should learn algorithms, and after you are clear with the algorithms, for example, dynamic programming, you know that, okay, this is dynamic programming, this is how I do dynamic programming. Now you start with easy dynamic programming, and then you go to medium, and then you uh, go to hard, and then you are expert in that particular domain. So this is how you should proceed with uh, solving the problems.
I'm currently a fourth year student, and I'm already working on the like I've started for the Geek for Geeks, and I'm practicing online. So once I'm comfortable with the basic questions or the medium level questions, how should I apply to big organizations like Directi, Expedia, or any
Yeah,
big
sure.
Google, Microsoft,
Uh,
these companies? What's the
yeah,
process?
sure. So basically, what even we at solve this problem. So what happens is, like, when you're coding things up, or when you are in an online judge, or you try to create your own network. And we at Coding Club are uh, trying to build that network up. We are having a mentors or a group of mentors, and those mentors already work in good companies or they are good in coding. So you can contact them, and uh, so all the four steps which I told you previously, do you may get stuck in any of the steps. For example, you may have trouble in understanding dynamic programming. So you can contact your mentors. Try to they'll try to teach you that how you can think about those. There's a network of people you can contact them, and most of the companies these days, consider referral programs. So you can contact those people. You can contact them over LinkedIn and ask them to forward your resume, and you'll get interviewed and things like that. So making a network is very important. So as you are learning, you should try to make your network. And we at Coding Club are, trying to solve this problem so that you'll have a network of mentors, and you can easily like contact them to help you in coding as well as in business.
Yeah. Also, like as I understand, making networks will also help us to get our resumes reviewed, because once everyone will always suggest to have a good resume, and there's no such definition, I assume, right?
Yeah. So basically, what I would suggest is, so when you are in first year, for example, you have done GSoC, you have a good thing on your resume. So starting from first year itself, even I mean, I also had trouble with this, like how my resume gets shortlisted. So you should try to do good internships. You should try to do good projects. And we at Coding Club are again tackling this problem because we are involving students into various projects. We are involving mentors into various projects so that they can set up in the resume. And even when you are when you are solving problems and you are doing good in hackering competitions, or say you're doing good in ACM ICPC, that is a plus in the resume. So I mean, we actually want students to have good projects as well as do good in competitive programming so that resume looks
Okay. So, can you explain a bit how is work at your Tower Research? How can I apply or other students apply there for a
yeah.
job?
Yeah, sure. So Tar Research is a company which mainly deals with high frequency trading, and I am a software developer over there. And we the culture is very good to say, and and so we have a casual wear lifestyle, and we don't have fixed timings, but we have our projects on time, and the projects basically involve a thing. I mostly code in C++, and they are large scale systems, which and the traders are our clients, and we try to build systems for traders, and we are evolving as a fintech company also. So there are many interesting projects which come over, and the work is really good. Then the work can be in domain of, if you want to say apply in Java, you can we have teams which work in Java. If you're good in making websites, we have web engineers also. Then how can a student apply? Okay, so Tara Research mostly there is a lot, but it is good if you send your resume to someone who's already working over in Tower Research. For example, I'm working in Tower Research. You can send your resume to me, and I can refer you guys. But this is the general process, and it depends on the openings also. So Tower Research generally hire, so they have a on-campus hiring where they go to college, tier one colleges, for example, IITs, and they also go to tier two colleges in, for example, NSIT and even IIIT. Um, and I would suggest you to apply via referral. That is because that is easy, and that that does not take into the big thing that, okay, Taurus is not coming into my college, so how will I apply? So yeah,
Yeah, the so simple solution is work hard and it always pays off. Either it's
yeah,
anyway. Yeah,
yes.
that's
So
yeah.
I thought that's it. I think Rishabh is over here with us again. So we'll try to ask Rishabh a few questions about Coding Club, which I myself also had, and most of you also might be having those questions. So Rishabh, can you tell a bit about aim of coding club? Like why are you doing that?
So yeah, so basically like this is a very basic question, like everybody over here will be having in their mind, like why coding club, and how, like what problems like we gonna solve, and how the coding clubs come into the picture. So basically the whole thing is the we have seen like there are some colleges like I'm a pass out from DTU. I have seen like there is very great culture, coding culture over there. And if I talk about triple IITs, also like triple IT Hyderabad, MNIT, and there are a lot more colleges where I have seen like people are really good at things. And we just saw like yesterday, NIT Patna guy was a rank one. So but there are like very good colleges, but there is no coding culture over there. So there are even IITs over there which are not able to like tap into the competitive programming, and they are not aware of like GSoC, working hard for ACM ICPC, just because they are not aware of it. Like why does it matter to crack ACM ICPC or GSoC or like competitive programming? What are the platform where they should practice on? So there are like lot more confusion on the first years and second years, till the time you came into third year and fourth year, and you realize that you have missed a lot more opportunity that you must have worked on at that point of time. So here the coding club comes. So where we have like alumni team, like you, so Dhruv is here from the alumni team who is working in tower research right now. So he's from IIT Kharagpur, and I'm from DTU. Like I'm alumni from DTU 5 years back, passed out. So we want every single alumni who are working in very good tech companies to get connected with the students or the college people or coders who are not able to tackle the like very small challenges. Like they are not being aware like what are the process, or like what are the steps they should follow. So in a very single word I would say, so we are here just to make coding culture flourish in every single college and for every single coder over here. So that's how, like, so we are just here so that every single college get flourished, and the coding culture gets set up in every single college. And we believe like we have a vision that we the learners at coding club will be foundation of great coders. Yeah.
You just said that okay, you want to.
Can you repeat that question because your voice just got missed?
Okay, so what is the roadmap for setting up the coding culture? So we would be setting up the coding culture
Yeah, sure. So
that
basically, yeah, the whole process will start. So yeah, I got the question. So briefing the whole question, like so Dhruv is asking us like how do we, so what is the on the roadmap right now, what we have the plans right now to set up the coding culture. So based on our past experiences from these colleges, like myself from DTU, I have seen there that there is a very good it started with DC coders club over there. So it used to exist where like I was going over there, there were some seniors telling to me that you should start coding on spot, you should start coding on these things, and you should apply for this and that, and must read that book. And like these things were going around me at that point of time, and I was really shocked that I wasn't aware of it. So so I really felt very great when I met Abhijit. He's working in, I believe, Adobe right now. So he was one of my seniors. So the whole idea came into like all alumni team with us, like we must set up this same coding culture in every single college, because this is the same problem for every single coder. So what we are doing right now is we have a lot more mentors on our site which keep pushing daily very good content stuff, based on the GSoC, based on the competitive programming, based on the algorithms, based on data structures, and whatever. Like as a process from the years, like go through like the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and ending up with working on good projects, JavaScript, Python, machine learning, AI. So there is a lot more going in market. So the as a whole, what we are doing is we are pushing lot more content to every single learner with us in the form of very good short scripts, which are telling them like these are the steps these that you must follow for cracking GSoC, for cracking ACMIC. So we have a LinkedIn page as well. You can just search on LinkedIn. So we push a lot more content over there. You just go to LinkedIn and search Coding Club. So there will be something blue colored bulb over there. Just go to that and just follow it up so that you can get daily updates on the LinkedIn itself. And you can also add up on the LinkedIn that you are a learner at Coding Club. So just add your experience that you are a learner at Coding Club since, let's say, 1 month, 2 month, and whatever. Yeah, that's all.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, that gives a clear picture of what your roadmap is and how we'll be setting up the coding culture. And I believe that we would be able to do this. And there are many students over here, I think around 300 or so. So how can they become member of coding club? Like I think it will be very beneficial for them to become member. So how can they become?
So yeah, there are like two three things that they can do. So first one is there is a YouTube link in the description itself. You can just as soon as like this session ends, you can just click on that link, apply for Coding Club chapter, and just become a learner at Coding Club. And secondly, just go to the LinkedIn page and just search Coding Club. So as soon as you just search over there, you will be able to see all employees from the Coding Club or the all network the Coding Club has on the LinkedIn, the all alumni, all mentors, all learners. So you will be able to tap in with them. You can communicate over them with them. So just as soon as like just this event ends, you just click on the form link, and secondly in the description, YouTube description, and secondly just go to the LinkedIn and search Coding Club and follow it. That's all.
Okay, that's great. So can we take some questions
Yeah,
from
it will be great.
the
Let's
audience?
pick some questions from the audience. So if you have any doubts, you can just comment it out so that we can pick the best questions we have from the live chat. Yeah.
Okay, I think one question that I can see is competitive coding versus development programming. So yeah, that's a good question, and even I used to have this doubt that whether I should do competitive coding or should I take up more projects and do development programming. So I think I can answer this question. So I would say that there should be a balance of both actually. So by competitive programming, I would mean that you mean algorithms and data structures, and those are something which are prerequisite in getting into a company. Prerequisite because they'll definitely ask you interviews on the questions in the interviews. So that is something which is prerequisite, and you don't have to be very, very advanced. You don't have to be very advanced in. If you're advanced, it's good, but it's just that it will be, you can say, a medium to hard level questions of speed code. That is sufficient. I mean, you don't have to be very advanced, but still, it's good that if you go into competitions, it's up to if it's in your hobby, it's good. But development programming, as in, you should try to do good projects in your colleges and get some good internships or 1 or 2 good projects is sufficient in my sense. So I think that should answer the question.
I will add one more point here. There are lots of people who feel that creating your own project from the very scratch takes a lot of time. So if you feel that, always start for the open source contribution, because you already have a inbuilt project, pre-built project, so you can understand those projects and contribute to them. So you are also doing the development programming along with the competitive. The more you competitive you are doing, more you can understand any problem more logically, and hence your development programming also, like development also improves in the
Yes. That's
Important.
that's a good point, Anamika, and yeah, that's a very good point that open source contribution should be done, and it's a very good addition to your resume, in my
So we
opinion.
have more questions coming in, from this. How do I start with AI and machine learning? So I will be taking up. So anyone wants to take this question for
Yeah,
machine
sure, you
learning
can
and
take this up. You can take
yeah,
this up, please.
so for AI and machine learning, I would recommend all of you like to start with very basic Python. So there are a lot more books over there, and you can just go to the Quora itself. We have very descriptive answers on Quora. You can just search Suruchi Jain Coding Club on the Quora or Rishabh Jain Coding Club on Quora. We have answered lot very descriptive way, but in short, I would be briefing it up like you must start with very basic Python at least, and practice it on HackerRank itself, because practice section at the HackerRank is very really good, and I personally use that as a tool to learn Python when I was a beginner. And secondly, what you can do is you can just check Andrew NG YouTube videos that are really good if you want to learn it from online instead of checking anything else. You can just check Andrew NG machine learning videos. So we have more questions coming in. Python versus Java. Anyone who wants to take?
Yeah, I can. I think I can take this up. So Python versus Java. So the thing is, for competitive programming, I would suggest C++. And but if you know Java, that's good. Like if you are very comfortable in Java, and that you can code that up in. I think C++ is something which you should know because we have STL, standard template library, which has implementation of many standard algorithms and data structures. So that is helpful. Then Python is a scripting language mostly. And for example, in machine learning and artificial intelligence, it has too many wrappers over it, and you can use that for doing your projects. And if you take the projects on AI, machine learning, and many other things, so Python is also something which is very easy as well, and it's very helpful. So I mean, in college, you can I would prefer you can start with Python and C++. And Java is something which if you're making a project for corporate, or you can, if you're working on a school project also, like for example college project also, you can learn that and make some application on Java.
Okay, cool. So next question is Anamika, I believe you will be able to answer it. So is C++ is sufficient for GSoC? Like Bipin Kale is asking that. Yeah.
So it depends on the knowledge of the C++. I wouldn't say that after 12th, that the knowledge you have from the very basics of the 12th plus C++, that won't be really helpful. But if you're starting right now, you can learn throughout the process. There are really lots of projects based on C++, but they're pretty advanced as far as I know. Like they're GNU compiler. So either you can learn the advanced topics in the C++ or start for any other development based projects. Like you can start for the. I know my friend who started Node.js in the December ending, and he got selected for the GSoC, and he learned throughout the GSoC period. This is not necessary when you are applying that or you are writing in your application that you will be doing these work in the 3 months. You should know in the very beginning. You can learn throughout the process and complete the project. So if you have currently, if you know only C++, you can start from other development based projects also. Other Android, Java is pretty easy to understand, or select for any other projects like JS based projects for
Okay.
the.
So next question is from Monish Bhaskar. If you also have like a question from your side, we can pick you up if pick it up if it's really good.
Yeah,
So
I think this question,
so
I think someone wanted to answer. So I think a first year student is asking what type of projects they should do in first year, and what type of coding they should do in first year. So I think I would suggest, like, in first year, usually students don't have much knowledge, and they just start doing coding. You should not do a development project per se. You should do more of. You should dive into competitive, because competitive takes time to build up. Because even if you start from first year, you can continue slowly, slowly, and you can reach a good level in fourth year. So I would suggest that you should do C++ or Python or Java, whichever language you are comfortable with. You can start with a language, for example, say C++, and then you should try to do some basic problems and easy to medium problems from languages, and that will be very helpful for your first year.
Okay, so I believe the here Ritik Jain is asking how to start GitHub, and this is a really good question, just from the perspective of working on projects and working on GSoC. Anamika, can you take this question up? The how to start GitHub?
I think there are lots of platforms for where you can learn Git and GitHub. I would suggest the free course provided by Udacity. You can just Google it. How to learn GitHub and Git and GitHub. I think I can screen share also. Um, So this is the course that I'm referring to. It's a really good course. It shows that you can learn it around like 15 days if you're learning, giving
So
a lot of.
is it like free or what?
Yeah, it's
Like,
totally free. It's totally free.
so it's a totally free course, and what we can do is you can just copy the link, and just I will give you a link. You can paste it there, so that just go to codeliver.ml, codeliver.ml, and just paste it over there, so that everyone can just copy paste from there itself after the webinar. So we are pasting the links on the codeliver.ml, codeliver.ml. It's a live editor. So you are able to open it up, Anamika, is it?
Okay, I have to open it. Sorry, I thought like we were doing it.
Okay.
Code lever dot.
ML.
Okay. Codelever dot ml.
Yeah.
I can't reach the site.
Okay, so maybe let's just add this. Can we add links? I don't know if YouTube allows the links to paste in over
I think
there.
we can edit the description later also.
Yes,
So
they'll
what
let me know
we can do
afterwards.
is let's just give the what to search, like what they can search on Google,
So,
like.
Git and GitHub Udacity. You will get the free
Yeah,
course.
yeah, cool, cool, cool. So just search for GitHub Udacity free course. Yeah. So anything else like we can pick up from the questions? If you also have like good questions for us, you can just ask. We are just checking the, yeah.
I will ask a very pretty obvious question I had in the first year college. I know for the first year students who didn't go into the IITs or the NITs or the big Tier 1 or 2 colleges, they always have a question that will I be able to get a good company as similar to IITs, or only online campus helps. So just, I mean, you guys are already in the really good companies. So how would you suggest or give them suggestions? Very big, basically.
So I believe like Dhruv and me, both of us will be able to like add up. So should I start or you start? You start.
No, you start. Like
Okay,
I
okay.
actually missed the question.
So basically,
Yeah.
what Anamika is asking, if you are like somehow ending up going in like tier two colleges or tier three colleges, is it able like is it feasible really to get into like very good companies like maybe Google, Amazon, Uber, or something like that? So if you take consider Suruchi or Bhavna, they are not from like IITs. They are from tier two colleges, from IP University. So they started working very hard in the competitive programming itself, and working on development projects. So it all totally depends how your network is, like what kind of people you are connected with, and you will be able to send your good resumes with your good projects to these connections, and you will be ending up setting up your interview in those companies, because a network is very important to get a referral, like Dhruv also like told in the previous 10 minutes, so it is very really important to get a referral for a good good company, because that's how it works
Yeah.
for tier 2 colleges. So at least you must have some of the good people connected with you who are really doing good from your, maybe your college area, from maybe across college around you. So just get connected with all good. So we have also send the LinkedIn's of all three members who are right here in the uh, uh, message itself. You can just send us the LinkedIn request, we can get connected, and you can just check. So basically it all depends on working on two things, I would believe. Like 50 to 60% you must do competitive as well, and the rest you also must focus on the project part. So both of them are good enough, then you will be able to apply into the startup as well. And always the third thing I would recommend is to focus on how do you become a full stack developer, because in the current market need, it is really good if you can build applications as well, like Android, React JS, and you are good at backend as well. So we will be taking last two or three, two questions maybe, because it's already 9. Let's just pick one or two questions.
Um, I think many people are asking about certification. So is certification necessary from any, for example, say NAPTEL certification or things like that? So to answer this question, I would say that I mean it's more important to learn things. Getting a certification is good. It looks good on your resume, but I mean you should know things more. And for doing the courses, for example, Coursera or Udacity, you can get certification. It's always a plus, and there's nothing bad in getting certifications. But it's more important to understand things rather than just running behind more and more certifications. So
Yeah, like
yeah.
Udacity courses are pretty expensive, but when you are getting the Udacity courses, they do they have you have to submit around 7 or 8 projects, so you will be able to add at least two of them those projects in your resume. So either learn by your own or you can get certification. But at the end of the day, the knowledge always matters.
Yes, that's true.
So one more thing I would like to remind all of them, like there is a link in the description, because we will be disconnecting very soon. So everyone, single coder who is watching us right now, just go to the description link and just fill it up. It will just take 20 seconds of your time, and it's really easy to get in touch with us. So that, yeah, that's all. So let's just, I believe, let's just close it. And we believe we will be doing a lot more, so that all learners, every single coder at coding club, or all learners at coding club will be foundation of great coders. And we believe everyone will gonna get flourish coding culture in their colleges itself. And I would say the last, everyone, learn, inspire, and grow. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.